I am Bridget Lake, president of the Oviedo Winter Springs Regional Chamber of Commerce, and we are here with Mark Van Valkenburgh, running for Circuit Court Judge Seat 39, serving both Orange and Osceola County. Our premier virtual Eastside Regional Hob Nob is presented by Lucas Land Group, an Oviedo-based family-run business with interest throughout Central Florida. Our sponsor, Duke Energy, and our radio sponsor, 96.5 WDVO. Now, before we begin our conversation, let's watch a quick commercial from our sponsor, Duke Energy.
When does the future begin? At Duke Energy, we say now. That's why we're investing in tomorrow's stronger, smarter energy future, today. Like a resilient power grid that can withstand storms not yet on the radar. Meters that show your energy use so you can adjust and save before your bill arrives. And a smarter grid ready for tomorrow's clean energy breakthroughs. We're Duke Energy, and we're building your smarter energy future today.
We are back with Mark Van Valkenburgh, running for Circuit Court Judge Seat 39. He is one of our candidates at our Eastside Regional Hob Nob. How are you doing today, Mark?
I'm great. Thanks very much. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And why don't we start with, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Just briefly, I've been in the Central Florida area for 25 years, practiced law here all that time. I'm married. I have 3 kids, ages 23 to now 14, a big span. So one of them out of the house and working up in Massachusetts, another at University of Florida, and one who will hopefully go back to 9th grade at the end of August. As I say, I've been practicing for 25 years. I've always felt a sense of responsibility and a desire to give back to the community. I'm able to do that some as an attorney, but began to think about, how I could, what kind of a job that I could move into, in which the job was really a job of service. And I believe that judge is just that. It's a job of service. It's a job where, every day I can beneficially impact the lives of many. And certainly at this point in time, particularly when there's so much turmoil, that's something that I would like to do.
Now, you talked a little bit about your children. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your family?
Sure. Family is very important to me. Actually, the 3rd generation of my family to live in Central Florida. My mother, my aunt and uncle graduated from Edgewater, and my grandfather was a doctor here in Orlando. His office is somewhere where the 408 now meets, comes directly into downtown Orlando. I always remember passing by when I passed by that spot. As I said, my kids are, got one grown. She's pursuing a master's degree and teaching in a school for kids with autism, getting her master's in applied behavior analysis. I've got one who just finished his junior year. He'll graduate in a year and a half with a combined bachelor's and master's in information systems management. I think I got that right. And then I won't say bringing up the rear, but trailing behind them a little bit is my son Daniel, who is in 9th grade. And hopefully, sometime he'll figure out what he wants to do. Good kid, very, very good athlete. And as I say, family's very important. My mom and dad are now here. I have an aunt and uncle here, so a lot of family, cousins, that sort of thing.
Very nice. And when you were talking about law, what area of law do you like the most, and what area of law do you like the least?
I'm a certified mediator as well, and I really like mediating. I don't do it a whole lot, 1 or 2 cases a month, but mediation one gives more satisfaction than practicing employment law, which is what I primarily do, for the most part, because if you can help parties reach a result to their dispute and put it behind them without having to go to trial and have a judge or jury decide it, that's a great thing. The other thing about it is that it's a new set of facts and new people to meet every time they come in the room. And so I like the intellectual challenge of it. I myself, as I said, I predominantly practice employment law, which is a good mix between litigation and consulting. I have a lot of clients where they just call me up and say, for example, in this COVID-19, one person calls and says, can I make all my employees wear a mask? And the next person calls and says, do I have to allow my employees to wear a mask? And so it's just trying to help them stay out of trouble and do the right things. I have, however, I spent 4 years as general counsel with the Public Defender's Office in the Ninth Circuit. That was a great experience. Learned a lot about criminal law, got to train and work with a lot of young lawyers, watch them in the courtroom, and see a lot of judges and their interactions with them as well.
Now, as far as organizations, a lot of people give their time to organizations. Are there any current organizations that you give time to, or if you're elected, that you would like to be working closely with or give your time to organizations if you get elected?
Yeah. Right now, I'm on the board with the Easter Seal Society of Central Florida. I do a lot with, a fair amount with my church. One of the programs is food delivery. We suspended that during coronavirus, but I felt like, and that's a real need in our community, particularly when people are losing their jobs. And so we continued to, and I shouldn't say we suspended because actually what we did was mail people gift cards, the people who were on our list. We were doing a once a month delivery that we would get food from Second Harvest, pack the boxes, and then deliver. But so instead we've gotten people to drop off food. They just drive through, drop the food off, and I've been delivering it out to a food bank off of John Young. I've also been a couple times to deliver Meals on Wheels, which is a cool experience as well. So I like that. In terms of law, I have, when I was with the Public Defender's Office, I really felt like there was a lot of impact that could be made with juvenile law system. What else? I'm a member of the League of Women Voters. I serve on their transportation committee, which honestly, at the moment, with the financial impact that COVID-19 has had on the community, is kind of in a wait and see mode. There was the potential for a referendum on to have a increase in sales tax to fund transportation, and I think that's now put on hold.
And what do you think is the greatest challenge you would have to overcome if you were to be placed on the bench?
The greatest challenge. I think probably it's the same challenge that all of the judges, current judges, are facing or will face, in that the courts have really been closed for a substantial period of time and have only just been opening up. And so there's a significant backlog of work to be done. And that'll start with criminal law, because of constitutional requirements about when people have a right to get to trial. They have certain deadlines. They can demand what's called speedy trial, which has been currently put on hold, but will open back up again. I think that one of the things that I bring to the table is the fact that I do have a breadth of experience, both civil, criminal, and then I mediate family law cases for the Legal Aid Society in Orange County. And so, I'm in a kind of a plug and play. Wherever I'm needed, I can go in and work without too much additional training. So I think that's going to be the issue, is just being able to be organized and efficient and help catch up in the areas that are needed. I think it'll be criminal and then move on to civil. But it wouldn't surprise me if we don't see civil trials until next year.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I don't think so, other than, I hope that people will look at my website, which is www.vote4judge.com. I've got a lot of material on there. Probably some people tell me too much material, but I do want people to get to know me, and not just to base their decision on who has the best flyer or who sends the most mail. I'm available via phone, via email if anybody has any questions. So with that, I greatly thank you for your time, and I look forward to the Hob Nob.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. That is Mark Van Valkenburgh. He's running for Circuit Court Judge, seat 39. He is one of our candidates at the Eastside Regional Hob Nob. We are having our virtual Hob Nob on June 30th, starting at 5:30, and you can check out ESRHobnob.com when we get our one-on-one interviews up there. So thank you so much, Mark. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you.